Dark greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of After the Shadows, the show created just for you, the fans, because why? We love you. That's why. I'm your host, Harvey Guillen. In today's show, we have a very special behind-the-scenes episode with someone who truly creates the world around us. Please give a warm welcome to our Season 3 set decorator, and for the upcoming Season 4, our new production designer, Miss Shane Fox.
Hi,
how are you?
I'm so good. How are you, Harvey?
Good. Thanks so much for coming on the show, first of all. I'm such a fan of your work. Can you tell us about the different roles you have had on Shadow so far and what they entail?
So I've been on the show for the first 3 seasons as the set decorator, which means that me and my team are in charge of just filling the sets, getting all the stuff, the curtains, the carpets, the candelabras, the many, many candles, all of the oddball things, and whether we're on location or in studio, we're the ones who have to source, build, assemble, dress, style, age, just put it all in front of the camera.
There's not a day that goes by that we're shooting that we don't find something new and interesting on the set. Like,
right.
I was in the library, and in the shelves was a map from 1988 Disneyland. And the backstory of, like, how did they get like the idea that anything is possible, and you've like created this world where it's like walking into a museum. I don't want to touch things, but they're so cool. And like, how is that challenging just to find like pieces that go with the vibe, obviously the aesthetic of the show?
It's challenging in some ways, but in some ways it's, for me, it comes really easy because it's what I love to do. I love stuff, and I really love this show in particular. So you just get into the mindset, you know where to go for certain things, and you start sourcing. My eye is always looking for stuff. And like when you're out there, you're looking for an attic set, but then you see the perfect thing for a weird basement that we know we have coming up. So you're just always on, and you're always looking. And we have really talented people on our team who are like artists who we sort of all collaborate and just get into the details big time.
That's amazing. I also, this year, we introduced, or in Season 3, 2 of my favorite set pieces. One of them being the Chamber of Curiosities.
Behind this door, the Chamber of Curiosities. The treasures of many generations of vampires gathered from around the world and collected here. Ageless, timeless, marvelous artifacts. But be warned, some of this stuff is inordinately powerful and not to be monkeyed about with.
It's like walking into a different world. How did the idea and concept for this come together?
Well, I think the main concept comes from the showrunners and the writers, Paul Sims, and worked with Kate Bunch, the designer, and they came up with this world, and then it was our job to fill it. It's supposed to be like a chamber full of things that vampires would collect. So what is that? So we just sort of make it up, and like, what would vampires find cool? What would they have?
That mermaid is one of my favorite.
That half mermaid, half monkey / human / mermaid, but in our world it was sort of half vampire too, and it's just that's a custom piece.
That's like the one piece that I'm like, when the show wraps up, that piece might disappear.
That's fine by me. I mean, it's creepy and cool, and like the wig and the whole bit.
No, it's like the detail. I mean, going over to the archives or the library.
My giddy aunt. To the scholar of the printed page, this place is Valhalla. And what I dismissed as rumor is actually true. For this vampiric council holds the world's oldest and largest collection of pornography.
I really wish someone would have videotaped our faces when we first stepped into this space, because I remember I think my jaw was just scraping on the floor the whole walkthrough, because it's like, whoa. Like, I mean, I knew that we had, amazing sets, obviously working on the show for the past 2 seasons, and then going to Season 3 and stepping onto this set, I was like, I couldn't have thought you would outdo yourselves from the past season, and here we were.
We love it when you guys react that way, because it's like we're all, it's like this circular thing. It's like, we're giving you an environment where you can do your best work, hopefully, and then the love that we feel from you guys kind of fuels the next one. It's like, oh, I want to make it great, so that like it's so fun to shoot in. You know what I mean?
No, I love stepping on the set, and it really does make, especially with Guillermo, with being, you know, a bodyguard this season, and the first introduction is this world where it's like this grandeur of like power and vampiric, you know, power is just tangible now. You know, it's actually
and it's big. It's bigger than like the mansion, and you know,
because no humans are allowed in this space, and for the first time to have, you know, a human being see this like world, its possibility is kind of it's a great. I think it contributes to just the world that we live in, but also for my character, it added so much this season. So thank you for that.
My pleasure. I love it. Thank you.
Well, a lot of these pieces play a huge role in creating this perfect spooky atmosphere. Has there been any run-ins with some haunted objects, maybe?
You know, when we go down the path of finding creepy things, we kind of run into some creepy people. You know, like if they come into my basement and see all the dead things I have, it's like, maybe no.
Something like this? Did you find this in a basement?
No, that wasn't in a basement. Those we found at an auction, and they were from another show, and they kind of inspired us to create a whole nook in the COC that was like, okay, well, maybe vampires would have like some dehydrated humans or zombies or some sort of human-like vampire experience form. I don't know. It's just sort of, you have to sort of extend your mind into some illogical places, and so we made our own version of those.
Okay, Shane, so one of my favorite things in the Chamber of Curiosities is that water tank. As soon as you walk in, it's to the left hand. This is the first thing I saw. Can you tell me about this?
So that's one of our dioramas. Oh my god, I can't tell you how many meetings, how many conversations, how many iterations, how many everythings though that particular section of the COC took. You can see there's a vampire in the background, and he's about to break the oxygen line of a scuba diver who's going for a giant pearl. We created this vignette with the vampire and like custom wardrobe we had made, and we got the scuba gear was like vintage Soviet scuba gear is what we could get on eBay, because of course, where do you go to, like the vintage scuba gear store, you know? So we're shipping in from like, I don't even know where. I don't know if you can tell, but the room is sealed. It's full of smoke to catch the sun, the rays, to make it feel like underwater. And then the glass is two-walled, so there's actually water in between the glass to create the bubbles.
Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but on this show we play, have you heard of this game? I don't know if you heard of it. In a Staten Island Minute! Yeah! Okay, so the whole point, we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock, and we're going to just ask you as many questions, see how many you get right. So are you ready to play?
Yeah.
Start the clock, please. Okay, what are the names of the couple next door who invite the gang on this episode trip? A, Sean and Charmaine, or B, Steve and Carol?
Sean and Charmaine.
Correct, next one. Okay, set design was born where? A, Egyptian theater, or B, Greek theater?
Ooh, I'd say Greek theater.
Correct! Yay. All right, next one. Which of the following were known as the Rat Pack? A, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Joey Bishop, and Peter Lawford, or B, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Joey Bishop, and Elvis?
I'd say A. There was no Elvis in the Rat Pack.
Correct! Next one. During the Baroque period, this person developed changeable scenery using chariots, ropes, and pulleys, which allowed more complex settings. A, Giacomo Torelli, or B, Shakespeare?
I think Shakespeare was not really into ropes and pulleys, so I'm going to say Giacomo.
Correct! All right, next one. Ocean's 11 was released in what year? A, 1954, or B, 1960?
I'm going to say 1960.
Correct! And that is time.
Yay.
Oh, you got 5 out of 5. You got
wow.
Right. You are in the lead right now, Shane.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, you gave me good questions, so I just went with it.
Everyone, please give it up for the wonderful Shane Fox.
Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you for having me. Fun.
Thanks so much, Shane. Oh, and before we go, I want to remind you to send us your artwork by using the hashtag AfterTheShadows_FanArt. That's AfterTheShadows_FanArt. Post it on social media. We might find it, and you never know. We might use it in a future episode. You've already sent so many great pieces, so please just keep them coming because we love them. All right, thanks so much for sharing. Until next time, take care and enjoy the shadows. Bet!